All right, let's move on to tip number three, which is posting on Instagram. So we're going to go into a lot of suggestions around Instagram because we get a lot of questions about this. And similar to Google, it's kind of a black box because there's so many different rules around it, and they don't share exactly what those rules are, and they're changing all the time. So this is a complicated one. This presentation might become outdated in 6 months. Who knows, right? So we're going to share some of the stuff that we've seen make a difference to start out. So first of all, it's your profile. The profile is an important place to start, right? You want to make sure, similar to your website, as the first thing that people land on, you want to make sure your profile is compelling. So how do you make a profile that is compelling? We've got a couple of best practices here. I think just looking down at the bottom, the old versus the new, we can talk about some of the changes that we made for one of our clients that started to see a difference in time that people spend on this profile. So first of all, right, like what differences do you see between the old and the new? The new one has emojis, right? And we've seen, especially on Instagram and social, it's a lot more engaging. People are more likely to read the text if there are images to break it up. So emojis are a nice thing to be able to add in. It adds some personality, and it breaks up the text a little bit more. So that's one thing here. We're focusing on the specific services that they offer. We're focusing on the location, right? We're adding some keywords here that people are searching for. Right before, it didn't even say salon in the bio. We really want to emphasize content like the business type in the bio. There's only so much text that's usable in the business profile, or sorry, in the Instagram profile. So you want to reference as much of that text as you can, because Instagram, like Google, scrapes the content in your bio. And when people are searching on Instagram, you want them to come across your profile. So having keyword text, right? We see keyword research here. What are the words that people are likely to search for your Instagram? Having some mentions of those core keywords is a really important place to start. And then we also see, right, like we see some references to other profiles where you're tagging them, and it adds some credibility. It adds some connection and connectivity, community engagement between your business and others. We always recommend, from a highlights perspective, to incorporate your branding if you can. So this goes back to what we were talking about with brand, your logo, your fonts, your colors. You want to take that and consistently incorporate those elements as much as you can across your online presence. Of course, that means your website, but it also means your Instagram presence and your social presence in general, right? You have a font pairing, try to incorporate that font pairing in your highlights. You can see that we've done that as like cover photos here. And then when someone actually clicks into that, right, they can see the actual photos and videos that go along with those highlights. Of course, your profile picture is important. It's a little bit different, right? If you're a larger salon with a team versus if you are an independent, or if you're a suite owner and you don't have anyone else on your team, we recommend for larger salons to use their logo. And if you're trying to build a brand, often, right, that logo is the best thing to do with your profile picture. But sometimes if you're a sole practitioner, if you're operating your business on your own, you are the brand, right? And that's where your face can make sense to happen here. But just make sure it's a professional photo. Make sure that it looks good and that it is compelling for a potential customer to think, yeah, I want to work with that person. Right? This is that first impression. Again, we have to remember that. But if you are the brand, right, and most of the posts are you, it makes sense to have your profile picture be you, especially if the business name is you, right? It's your name. That's when it makes a little bit more sense, as opposed to, right, if you have a different business name, then the logo that goes with that business might make more sense if you're building your brand around that. A couple other things to call out: the links here. So we recommend using tools like Linktree, if you're not familiar, to add a lot of links at once. But at the very least, adding your website URL there, maybe your booking link, so that people can quickly get to where they want to go.